everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're winning in all that you're doing. And if you're not winning, let's keep pushing, all right? It's not over until we win. Okay, so today I'm going to share something that is really close to me, close to my heart. That's all I share about, by the way. I share about things that I am learning that are close to my heart, that are transforming my life. All right, so today I'm going to share about fruitfulness. Now, fruitfulness has the meaning for me is has come in so deep over time because growing up, I believed fruitfulness was success. All right, success was money. Money was a stable job or a stable business, whatever it was that would bring me money, would bring me cars, would bring me a house, or there was a basic guidance on what fruitfulness was. And so I lived my life aiming to attain that kind of fruitfulness. And when I got to a shadow of it, when I started really hitting those numbers where I felt, hey, this is fruitful, hey, this is success, there was some empty feeling that I was feeling and fulfillment that really drew me back to think, okay, what is going on? What am I missing here? I'm supposed to be excited. I'm supposed to be winning. I'm supposed to be at the top right now. Like I'm starting a career. My trajectory looks amazing. What's going on? And so it was in that time that I started to learn about fruitfulness and fulfillment and success being different from just getting money, from just a paycheck, from just getting a stable job. All right, so first of all, fruitfulness starts with seeds, and seeds are really these tiny potential filled things. They are really ignorable. You can look at seeds. I wish I had seeds right now. You can look at seeds and they're really unattractive. They're just simple. There's nothing to it. And they're really ignorable. You can throw a seed easily without really paying attention to it. And that's what all of us have been given. When we talk about fruitfulness, we're talking about achieving our highest potential, achieving a success that is fulfilling for us. And it all starts with seed. So all of us have been given seed, all right? And seed, again, like I said, it's just potential. It's something that we are given that might not be much right now. And that's what seed is. But seed has the power to become amazing, has the power to blossom, has the power to grow. And that's where I believe I missed my fruitfulness because I did not look into what I had as my seed. I looked into what was out here, right? What was mapped out already, what was sensible to people. According to how well I did in school, there were some careers mapped out for me, and accountant was one of them. And it made sense because then I would really become a professional that could make a good living and really support my family and have no needs. That way I met, or that's the idea. And so the unfulfillment came from that space. The unfulfillment came from being in a place where I am pursuing and investing in something that has not started from within me. So my seed, my abilities, my gifts, that's my seed, right? My gifts, those inert things in me were not exploited. Maybe they were just a little bit, but they were not really highly focused on and exploited to make a living for me or to be used in making a living for me. So that we just focused on my ability, like how smart I am, how intelligent I am, how I'm able to learn numbers and how I'm able to remember. And then I did well in school, and then the rest was history. Or was it? All right, so we start from there. We all have seed. What is seed for you? Seed is anything that you have that comes easily for you, a gift, a talent, a skill that comes easily for you. I'd say maybe some people can sing, some people can play instruments, some people can read numbers easily. So if there's something that comes easily for you and you're passionate about, and passion here doesn't just mean feeling, but it means something that you can do consistently without wearing out. You know, there are some times that you can just maybe practice your instrument. This is a violin, by the way. I'm doing, I don't know how they do whatever, but violin, right? You can practice hours on end and not feel burnt out. That indicates something. It's pointing to some seed, some gift that you have that may not be present in anybody else. So seed can be something that you learn easily. It can be something that you love to really engage in, exploring. So you can be exhausted physically, but fired up spiritually or fired up in your spirit. Why? Because this is your seed, this is your area. So I'm just trying to help us understand what is seed for you. All right, so for me, my experience, my seed is creativity. I am very creative and very creative in impacting people. So if you want me to reach out to people or to communicate something, I get really creative about that. If you want me to learn something new that will transform somebody's life, I can consume a lot of knowledge. I can read books. I can listen to podcasts. I can listen to complex material and then break it down. I never thought it was a seed for me. I just thought it's something that I do, so I'm just going to use it in school. But it's something that I can cultivate. And my fire, what keeps the fire going, is not just learning and exploring and being creative with knowledge. It's really when I understand that this now affects somebody, this now can lift up somebody. That is an example of a seed for me. So for other people, it can be simple, like I said, singing. It can be something like accounting, being good with numbers. Like you just enjoy it, it comes effortlessly for you, and that is your seed. Now we need to understand though that just because we have seed doesn't mean we can be fruitful. All right, you can be successful in life, but might not be really fruitful. And fruitful is when you are successful and fulfilled, right? Your success has meaning. So you're not getting to a place where you're like, I have all the money, I have all the time, but I'm unhappy. No, that's not fruitfulness. Like I name it, or like I define it. Fruitfulness is when you're successful, but it's also really, really fulfilling. You're achieving your purpose. Now that's fruitfulness. So all of us have the capacity to be fruitful because we all have seed. All right. So we have seed that we can cultivate. We have seed that will not look so good. What I mean is it's going to be ignorable. It can be something that we don't understand. It can be something that we have never really looked at as something with potential. But we all have the potential to be fruitful. We all have seed that we carry. So, step number 1 of being fruitful, identify your seed. You have to identify your seed. How do you identify your seed? I mentioned in the introduction a lot of how you can identify your seed. What are you passionate about? What can you learn endlessly without getting tired? What can you explore and improve on without burning out? What were you good at when you were little? What was, when we're young, we're free, we can explore ourselves, we can enjoy life. What was it that you used to enjoy when you were younger? Go back to that time and think, oh, I used to love maybe acting, or I keep going back to singing. It's an easy one to remember. Or I used to love drawing. I used to love whatever it was. Were you good at it? Would you have gotten better at it? So identifying seed is just going back to a place where you can find an area where you are generally good at or better at than others. Not really that you're in competition, right? So I could have been a better accountant than most, but what it took for me to become better was so much energy. It wasn't effortless. So my understanding numbers, my reading trends takes much effort. I did well in school. I became a chartered accountant. That was amazing, but it took so much from me. It took a lot of energy. It was draining. So every time I did accounting work, every time I came back from work, I was done. I couldn't be creative. I was worn out. But if you give me something like a creative job, like find a solution for this problem, how can we communicate this to people? I can work the same hours or more than I used to work in my accounting job and not be tired. Why? Because I'm operating in an area where I have my gift. Second step is own your seed. Yep, own your seed. All right, so there's so many gifts and talents that we have. But because life is defined in a certain way as to what is successful, as to what is a serious job, or what is economically sensible, we find that we have some gifts, some seeds that we can ignore, and we don't believe that they are seeds. Like I shared my ability to comprehend a lot of information and simplify it for people. I didn't think that was a gift. I didn't think that was a seed. I just thought, well, I just read. So because I didn't acknowledge it, I didn't own it as a gift, as a seed, then I didn't care for it. All right. So because a seed is something small, It carries potential, but unless you explore that potential, you never uncover it. It can stay in the seed form forever, you know? So you have to understand what you love is a seed. What you're interested in is a seed. What you're capable of doing is a seed. It's not to say that you should follow my path and quit your job and whatever, but you can explore this seed. You can start to own it. You can start to protect it. You can start to explore it, to understand it. What does this mean? How can I map this into something that I can do, maybe to fulfill me? What can I do on the side with this gift of singing? Can I make videos? Can I sing at church? What can I do with it? Right? So if you don't explore that seed, it stays in seed form, and then it leads to you having an unfulfilled life. Again, you can be successful but be unfulfilled. Why? Because the seed that has been given to you, you have not utilized. So there is a gap, right? There was a purpose you were supposed to achieve, but now you have chosen something else, which might be impactful, which might be good, but you might feel a gap. You might feel an emptiness within you, and that's because you're not owning the seed. So the second step is now own your seed, believe in it, now explore it, learn about it, right? There's so many gifts that we have that we don't have more information about. Read books about people who have that gifts. What do they do with such gifts? How did they explore them? What did they achieve with the same gifts that you have? Explore it, learn, get more information. And the amazing thing about information is, as it relates to the seed that you carry, it opens your eyes. It opens your eyes to possibilities. It opens your eyes to opportunities that you never thought existed. All right. So seed is something that is within you. So it is just you who knows about it. So when you go to somebody and tell them, this is what I want to do with my life, I want to start an orphanage that will help these kind of kids, and then we'll have a little place that will be selling things that will then fund the orphanage. People will look at you and think, this is crazy. You have a job, you have life, you have bills. Take care of your bills, right? And they'll be right. Okay, so you have to understand, part of owning your seed is protecting it, preserving it, guarding it, and firing yourself up for it, because it is you who is carrying it, and many won't stand with you to carry it with you or believe with you. So you have to nurture yourself, you have to encourage yourself, and that depends on what you're feeding your mind, what you're learning about your gift, building up a mindset that can sustain, that can stand in spite of opposition, a mindset that understands who you are, all right, your identity and what you're being given. Yeah, you believe that it's a gift, all right, you believe that it can be nurtured and it can grow. Now you have to really be rooted in that mindset, a strong mindset that can withstand opposition, a strong mindset that can take negative opinions, a strong mindset that can stand and pursue this new thing. And really just guarding it means not sharing it with everyone. You don't have to share it with anybody. A king is weakest when they're a baby. So if you want to kill a king, like it happened in the Bible, when they wanted to kill Jesus, when Herod wanted to kill Jesus, they had to target him when he was a baby. When Pharaoh wanted to kill Moses, was it Moses? All right, when Pharaoh wanted to kill or to destroy the Israelites, he targeted the babies. Because when your dream or your seed is in its baby form, it's in a seed form, then it's easiest to destroy. If I was to discard like, let's say, seeds, like a whole bunch of seeds, let's say a box of seeds, let's say 1 kg of seeds, I just need to just go into the bin and just throw them or flush them in the toilet. They'll go. They're seeds, so they'll be like not hard to discard, right? But if those seeds start growing into fruit, and that 1 kg of seed could be like maybe hectares and hectares of fruit. But now you have to sow it, because as long as it's in seed form, there's no harvest that is coming in for you. And harvest in this case means fruitfulness. There's no fulfillment that is going to come from a seed that stays in seed form. All right, so you have to really take care where you're planting it. You don't just plant seed anywhere. Because if you plant it in stony ground, the stones will compete and block nutrients to the seed, and so it will not grow. All right, so you have to make sure that you're planting your gift in the right place, right? You're planting it in a place that is fertile, a place that is conducive. You don't want to plant it where there are weeds and thorns around it. They will stifle air. They will compete with the seed. What does that mean? It means you get yourself in the right environment, get yourself the right mentors, get yourself the right like support system. It can be online, it can be physical, but really gauge who is around you, right? Who is around you? Are they feeding me? Are they supporting this gift? Right? So if you're a singer and you have identified that you really have this gift, you have explored it, now sowing it would mean, okay, I get a mentor. Okay, I join a choir and practice. In this choir, I'm learning. In this choir, I am maybe connecting. Or maybe I join a YouTube, not a YouTube, I join a community on Facebook of singers or whatever it is. What you're doing is now you are still growing it, you're cultivating it, but it's still in seed form. So you're not coming out here and trying to lead with this gift because it's still immature, right? It's still in seed form. You're just planting it. So you're learning. This is a time to learn. It is time to see what you're getting into your mind. What are you learning? What are you exposing yourself to, right? When a seed is still growing, when you have sown it, it's covered, right? So you want to tend to it. You want it to be protected still, right? You're being vulnerable by taking the seed out of your hand and putting it in the ground, right? That's vulnerability, and that's important. That's trust. That's taking a risk. But you don't want to just put in any ground. And that's why you sift people. You sift what you listen to. You sift what you watch, because this is a vulnerable time. Any little thing that you just throw on the little seed that is in the ground can stop the growth. If you have the right environment, but the wrong, let's say, spot, and it's blocked from the sun, that seed will not grow, or it will grow wrongly, right? Or not grow healthy. So it is important for you to, in your sowing, to check the environment. In your being vulnerable and taking a risk, to check who is on your team, who is on your back. And for me, who's got your back? And for me, that's where my faith came in. Trusting God and asking for discernment, that He will bring the right people to me, so that I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate for attention. I'm not desperate for people to support me, that I'm giving my seed and sowing it in a bad place that will harm me. Because at this point, the seed is still vulnerable and it can easily be damaged. So sift what you are allowing into your life, what you're watching, even in your entertainment, what you're laughing about, what you're spending your time on. You can't nurture a seed when you've spent the whole day maybe doing other things, all right? So you have your gift and you're rarely practicing. That's not nurturing to your seed, all right? So you have to invest time in cultivating that seed. You have to invest time in protecting that seed that you have sown. It's great you have taken a risk. It's great you have sown it. But now guard it, protect it, care for the environment. Look around. There'll be birds, there'll be insects that will come wanting to take bites of that seed. Guard it, protect it. And that really speaks to what you put into your mind and what you keep in your environment. The fourth step in being fruitful is cultivate your seed. Be patient with the seed. Give it time. So you have sown it, you've taken a risk. Awesome. But now what does that mean? It means you will harvest fruit tomorrow? No. Every seed has due time. Due time is when what it takes for it to move from seed form to a nursery plant, a small plant, to maybe medium, and then it grows, and now it starts flowering, then it starts bearing fruit. And then after the fruit is out, you don't eat it still. It has to ripen. And when it ripens, then you can really eat and share, right? But that's the process. You can't cut it short. You have to understand the process and embrace the process. Cultivate your seed. Cultivate this plant. Because now it's no longer a seed. You have taken a risk. Now you can see fruit. I mean, you can see evidence of this gift of yours. You put it out there. If it was just starting a business, you're now seeing that, oh, you can make sales. All right, people are coming. People are acknowledging your gift. If you are singing, people are giving you likes. People are coming and thinking, okay, can we sing together? So you're seeing some traction, right? It's not there yet. If it's a business, maybe you're not even profitable yet, but it looks good, right? It's validating. You're feeling like, oh, all right, this looks good. There's something there, right? So it's still cultivating. This is a time for diligence. This is time for consistency. This is time for care, right? So you're doing what you used to do when you sowed the seed, all right? Guarding your mind, guarding your heart, guarding your environment. You're still guarding you're still guarding the inside. Okay, you're still guarding your mind. You're still guarding the effort you're making, right? You're still investing time in this. It's not as vulnerable as it was in the seed form, but it's still vulnerable. So now you're gaining ground, right? So be diligent, be excellent, right? You don't want to lose your plant when you say, oh, it started flowering and then nothing happened after that, right? You want to see it through to harvest. So in this time of cultivating is a time to be patient. It's a time to build systems. It's a time to get accountability, more accountability. It's a time to get a structure on the ground. What do I mean by that? So if you're starting a business, you're seeing traction. Now it's for you to identify, okay, so what is my business trying to achieve? Am I in line with what I said I wanted to achieve? What do I need to change? When I started, I thought I was going to make sales this way. What do I change? I thought I would make sales on social media. Now it doesn't look like that. It looks like I need to be physically present at maybe places to really get clients. So what does that look like? So you have moved from just thinking, you have put the risk, now you're seeing traction and you're building structure around it. And structure this is some sort of a boring space, because when you're starting something and you're sowing seed, there's risk involved. So there's a lot of excitement. There's risk, there's fear, you're trying to explore things, but now you know you have it. Now you know you are not really exploring anymore. Now you just need to be consistent. You're not seeing the result yet. You're not seeing the fruit yet. You're not enjoying the fruit yet. But the fruit is going to come if you stay consistent. This is the middle. It's usually messy. It's usually where lots of people give up because they're tired. But if you don't give up on your gift, if you don't give up on your seed in this cultivating season, if you're diligent, then you get to the next step. So cultivate, be patient, stir yourself up in the Lord. What I mean is encourage yourself, get yourself around people who are building, because they will understand this phase. People who have never built will be like, I think it's time to give up. But people who have been out there and have built, have made risks, have taken chances, then you will see that they understand this, right? So as you take these chances, as you're in this place where you want to be diligent, surround you, it's really, really more important that the mindset you started building, you continue to do that mindset work. Where you want to be resilient, you continue to keep your vision before you. Look at your vision board so that you don't forget what the end is like. If you look at the tree, it's not flowering yet, you're not seeing fruit yet, remember, fruit is coming. Look at the picture of what the fruit is going to look like and go like, yes, I'm looking forward to it, I'm fired up. You want to keep the fire burning, you want to keep the excellence going, because this is sort of like a test. This is a test season, because many people give up here, they never experience the fruitfulness that they could actually experience. They never get to the fruit part. All right. So when you pass this test, when you keep on, when you don't give up, when you don't quit in this space, in this cultivation phase, then you will graduate to the next step. Harvest, harvest. This is the most exciting, because all the private discipline that you've been doing in identifying the seed, in owning the seed, in sowing the seed, in cultivating the seed, it's really nothing that people will be like, oh, look, she's made it. Not yet, till you get to this place. This is when people say, suddenly she got the record label. Suddenly her business made millions. Suddenly her marriage really blossomed. Suddenly, but it was not sudden, because you know this is step number 5. There are 4 steps that nobody was seeing or giving you props at, but you kept on going. All right. So step number 5 is where you party, where you have fruit. And this is really important also, that you don't just party and say fruit, because fruit is not endless, right? Fruit has a season as well. So after fruiting, the plant really stops fruiting and goes again into that cycle where you have to keep tending for it, and it will fruit again next season. All right. So it's really important in this space to celebrate how far you've come, to enjoy the fruits of your labor, to really bless the Lord and celebrate, but also to remember that it's important to be wise. What does being wise mean in this season? It means saving, right? So if you're making the money, if you're making the impact, really saving, like put things aside, save your energy, save your money, save the effort, save the ideas, whatever it is that you have, save, because you're going to go through this cycle again. And then in that saving, you want to invest as well, because you're not just saving to keep with this one plant or one seed. Then when you have the privilege of having like success and harvest, you can think about, hey, this fruit is bringing me this much, but I also have an interest in this other area. So it gives you a platform to explore other interests. But don't take on too much. Be wise. Save, invest a little bit, and continue to learn and leverage on your gift. Right? You want to continue tending to it. You want to continue doing the mindset work. You want to continue believing in it and cultivating it. Because when you do that, then the bigger harvests are coming. The first harvest is usually mind-blowing because you have really worked so hard to get to here. And finally, things look good. Finally, you're getting the bank account balances. Finally, you're getting acknowledged. Finally, you're getting traction. You're opening, doors are opening. You're walking into places. You're being acknowledged. It's amazing, right? And you're being acknowledged for something that you did, right? Something that came from within. And that is fulfilling so much, so that you might really go like, this is it and done. But that's not the process of life. You have to continue to grow. Because if you just say, this is it, I'm done, there's a chance you could be a one-hit wonder. And all that work you did might go to waste because you just be fruitful for one season and that's it. So be wise. Continue to tend to your gift. Continue to do the mindset work. Continue to cultivate it because it will continue to bring more harvest. And usually the harvests that are coming will be bigger and better because you keep improving. Now you have confidence. Now you understand that your dreams are valid, right? So you can pursue boldly. You can do other things, invest boldly because you have proof, right? Proof of concept, proof of what your abilities are. And so that fires you up. So in this place, really be focused still, celebrate, but be focused still on the bigger vision that you have, which is to multiply your gift, but also to bless others, right? That's the whole point of life, right? You just don't want to just be like, yeah, I did it in your face. You want to be able to bless others and pull others that are coming after you, encourage others that are coming after you. So interested to hear at what point are you in this fruitfulness journey, right? I hope you also understand the importance of not just being successful, not just chasing paper and recognition, but also understanding that you have to chase fulfillment. That's the whole point of life. Because if you get to the end of life and you're not fulfilled, it's going to be really sad, right? So at what point are you? Are you identifying your gift? Are you owning it? Are you sowing it, cultivating it? Are you harvesting? At what point are you, right? I am cultivating my gift. So I'm not there yet. I'm not harvesting yet. So this is my journey. And this is what I'm sharing with you, my cultivation process. And I hope this was helpful. Share with me any feedback that you have. I'm present on all the socials. You can find me, maybe Zaina Kajata. It's always amazing for me to share with you. Till next time, bye bye.